Guys, here we go. This is the start of Flipped Classroom for you. So we're going to start on section 3, chapter 2, which is all about graphing. So let's how do we know how to graph so far? You should know from algebra 1, slope intercept form, making a table, and I taught you the other day use your calculator. So any of those three forms is great. You just got to know what you're doing here. So let's go with example 1. Graph the equation, compare. That's a key component to this stuff that I'm doing today, comparing. Compare the graph with the graph of y equals x, which we call the parent of linear functions is y equals x. Everything else is kind of like the kids. Right? Y equals x plus 2, that comes from the parent, y equals x. Okay, so letter A, y equals 2x. We're going to, number 1, we're going to graph it. Number 2, we're going to compare. Okay, so let's go to y equals 2x. I'm going to shift to this right here. So you could make a table. I'll skip that. I already did one of those. Y equals 2x. Let's do slope intercept form plus 0, right? Y equals 2x is the same as this. Your b is equal to 0. Your y-intercept is equal to 0. And your m, or your slope, is equal to 2. Now you can put your slope as rise over run. That's what I always do. Rise over run. 2 over 1. So here we go. Step 1, you plot your intercept, which is 0. There's 0 on the y-axis. There you go. Step 2, you use your slope. This means rise 2, run 1. So from here, we rise 1, 2, and we run 1 over to the right since it's positive. Then you draw a line, which, here we go. Draw a thing there, and something like that. Okay, so that's my line, y equals 2x. Now, how does this compare with the parent? Well, what is the parent? Y equals x. Oops. Y equals x is your parent, so that means the slope is 1, the y-intercept is 0. So we plot the 0, and up 1 over 1, right? 1 over 1. So here we go. The parent is looking like this. Let's change it up a bit. The parent I'll make dashed. Okay. There's that side. Something like that. Okay. So look at that, look at the parent. What's the difference? Well, what's the difference between the equations? Y equals 2x, y equals 1x. The difference is the slope. The slopes are different. You would say that this guy, y equals 2x, is steeper than the parent. Okay, has the same y-intercept but is steeper. So when you talk about slopes, you're going to talk about steeper, not as steep as this, stuff like that. That's a key word here, steeper. Okay, gives you another one here. Y equals x plus 3. Now you could actually compare it just by looking at it if you know your stuff. Here's the parent we're comparing it to. So y equals x and y equals x plus 3. What's different between these two? These two have the same what? There's m, there's m. They have the same slope, which means they should be parallel, right? They got different y-intercepts. So this is plus 0 and this is plus 3. So you should be able to picture this in your mind how to do this one. So come over here and we just want to make one y equals, change the color here, y equals x plus 3. Slope is 1 over 1. Y-intercept is 3. 1, 2, 3 on the y-axis. So there's your y-intercept. Up 1 over 1. There's your slope. Up 1 over 1. Okay? And then you can draw your line. So I'm going to draw my own line. Maybe I shouldn't have. Okay? There it is. So that line should be, look at this line, compare with the dotted line, the parent. Here's the parent. These two things are parallel, right? And you could tell that by y equals x and y equals x plus 3. They're parallel because they have the same slope. They have different y-intercepts. That's what you would say. They have the same slope, different y-intercepts. That's how you compare. Okay, back to the next question. Example 2. We want to graph an equation in slope-intercept form. Now, we've actually already done this. So, let's go back. Y equals negative 2/3 x minus 1. Let's go back to here, and let me change the slide here. Y equals negative 2/3 x minus 1, I believe it said. So your B, your y-intercept, is negative 1, not positive 1. And your M, your slope, is negative 2/3. Now, let's plot our B. B is negative 1, so I go down 1, negative 1. Now from here, I use my slope. How steep is it from here? Negative 2/3. Now you can do two things. Okay, you can put the negative up top and say negative 2/3, or you can put the negative in the bottom, and you could do it this way. Okay, let's do the first one. Negative 2/3. That's negative 2 rise and 3 run. Positive 3 run. Negative 2 rise. 1 down 2, that means. Positive 3 run. 1, 2, 3 to the right. There we go. And you can draw your line. Let's try the other way. Does the other way work? Well, this says rise positive 2. So I start here and go positive 2. 1, 2. And run negative 3. So rise 1, 2. Run negative 3. 1, 2, 3. There you go. There's a point. That's still on your line, right? This is review. So everybody should be good on that. Here we go. Let's draw a line through these few points and try to make it longer. There you go. There is y equals negative 2/3 x minus 1 based on slope-intercept form. Now if it's not in slope-intercept form, then we have to do something. Okay, well there's a couple things we could do, and I'll talk about that in a minute.